Hello, this is JC De Guzman for our daily top 5 gainers and top 5 losers analysis for July 17, 2019. This is in preparation for the next trading day on Thursday. Everything that I'm going to say here is for short-term trading purposes. Take note that I'm going to give you my technical analysis for these 10 stocks. I'm going to show you what I see on my trade and volume distribution and true market sentiment charts. After which, I will give you my overall sentiment together with my recommendations for those of you who may have had these stocks or any of these 10 stocks, or if you're just planning to enter a new position. Okay, so that we can cover both angles. Okay, so if you have some follow-up questions, or just in case any of these 10 stocks begin at a price lower or higher than whatever dominant range that you're about to see, make sure that you ask for the latest trade and volume distribution and true market sentiment charts in our private clients forum. Let's begin. So PXP, it closed today at 9.09. Your immediate support is at 6.78. Resistance is at 10.05. Our 10 SMA MACD combo is very active. The upward momentum is not yet very strong, but it's getting there. PXP needs to break above the resistance at 10.05 and probably towards the median of between a 10.05 and 13.6 for the ADX core to reach the 25-point level. So it's not yet the upward momentum is not yet very strong. As you can see here, PXP has been playing inside the consolidation range since April. Since April this year, PXP has just been trading sideways between the support and resistance levels that I have mentioned. So it has to break this consolidation phase by breaking above the resistance at 10.05. Okay, so PXP also has a high risk level. It's a high risk level already for PXP due to its historical volatility score above 81%. So now let's check the trade and volume distribution chart to verify if the fantastic first signals are all present. Yes, they are. The first dominant range is between 9.09 to 9.2. If and when PXP starts at a price lower than 9.09, I suggest that you monitor the price between 8.8 to 9 pesos per share. If it starts at a price lower than 8.8, I suggest that you monitor the price between 8.5 to 8.7. Okay? Remember those three ranges that I have mentioned. The true market sentiment chart looks like this, and the sentiment is neutral. It's still neutral. So despite the presence of a green candlestick on Wednesday, the majority of the top 10 players are not that bullish yet, meaning to say they are also eavesdropping with each other, waiting to catch someone doing a massive buying activity at a price higher than its prevailing price. So they're not yet going all in as well. They're not yet heavily betting in on PXP, so to say. So if that's what they've been doing, I highly recommend that's what you do as well. Meaning to say, even though we have some confirmed buy signals here, the 10 smacked in, the fantastic first signals are present, I suggest that you buy in tranches only within the dominant range or dominant ranges that I have mentioned according to that order, a hierarchical order. Okay, so you can go ahead and top up. You can go ahead and enter a new position. Let me mention this once. For those of you who are just about to enter a new position, there's an extra process that you need to go through. And what is that? It's the calculation of your reward to risk ratio. Okay? Even though our 10 MACD and fantastic first signals are present, if you are not satisfied with your reward to risk ratio, do not do a test buy. It's an extra process you must go through. It's not a suggestion. It's a command. Okay? You have to calculate your reward to risk ratio first. These people who am I talking to, these people who have had PXP, they also went through that process, the calculation of their reward to risk ratio when it was their first time to buy PXP, just in case they bought it before. while it was busy playing inside the consolidation phase. Okay, so I'm neutral, but since our buy signals are present, you can go ahead and do a test buy or top up. For the test buyers, make sure that you calculate your reward to risk ratio first. After PXB, we'll talk about green. Green closed today at 2.4. Support is still at 2.25. Resistance remains at 2.9. The 10 MACD combo is not yet present. Foreign investors registered a net foreign buying worth 7 million pesos. Risk level is still moderate for green. It's not yet completely out of the woods. The negative DMI is still above the positive DMI. That will only change. We will only see a change on the DMI chart once the price breaks above 2.9. Well, when I say change, I'm referring to a change that is in favor of the bulls or of the buyers. Okay, let's take a look at green's trade and volume distribution chart. And by looking at this, I would say that the dominant range is in favor of the buyers, meaning to say the fantastic first signals are present. The dominant range is between 2.38 and 2.45. Okay, 2.38 to 2.45. The true market sentiment chart tells us that we got a bearish sentiment, and the reasons are these ones that I am highlighting right now. By the way, I'm going to publish the statistics in our private clients forum for today's video. So the majority of the top 10 players are not yet that bullish on green, probably because it's still playing inside the consolidation phase, and RSI is still about to get past the neutral level. It's still a lot closer to the classical oversold than the overbought level. Okay, so they are also trading green in moderation, with moderation, so to say. So I suggest you do that as well. Okay, wait for the confirmed buy signals. If you are a newbie, even though the fantastic first signals are present, I highly recommend that you wait for the 10 SMACD combo to be validated. Okay? The only ones whom I advise to preempt the 10 SMACD combo just because the fantastic first signals are present are those who got the experience, years of experience trading the stock market. But if you are a newbie, you have to wait for the 10 MACD and the fantastic first signals to become present. Both of them as much as possible. Okay? For the newbies, you are still very emotional at this level. So I have to do something to develop your more logical part so that uh, we can reduce the strength of your emotional part. Okay? So after green, we have PPG. PPG closed today at 6.02. Support is at 4.76. It's now at the brink of crossing above its resistance at 6.02. I have plotted an up Fibonacci for us to identify the classical, the psychological support or resistance, psychological resistance of PPG, and it's at 7.93. 7.93, which is in confluence with a 61.8% of the up Fibonacci extension. Okay, so there, the 10 SMACD combo is present. Foreign investors registered a net foreign buying worth half a million, not half a billion. Okay, so on the other hand, historical volatility is already above 100%, and that makes PPG an extremely high risk level, even though the upward momentum is already very strong. This is a very risky trade for those newbie traders, especially those who have just opened their account a few months ago. So I suggest PPG to be traded only by the experienced ones, those who manage to tame their emotions already. Okay? So there. So if you'd like to do a test buy, a brave decision to do a test buy, I suggest that you park it within the dominant range at between, with respect to its closing price of 6.02, the dominant range is between 6 to 6.02. 6 to 6.02. If it breaks below 6 pesos per share, I suggest that you monitor it between 5.1 to 5.2. Okay, so there. If it now for those who don't have PPG but got the experience in trading, you can go ahead and do a test buy within those two ranges. And if you don't have the years of experience in trading yet, I suggest that you uh, paper virtually trade PPG only, meaning to say don't use actual money in trading PPG. Maybe you can use this one as a case study or as a practice trade by not using your actual buying capital on PPG. Okay, this is an extremely high risk stock already. Take note of that. For those of you who have had PPG, you can go ahead and top up. It's a lot easier for me to recommend, and it's a lot easier for you to do as well, to top up, because you already managed to enter at a position uh, lower than the prevailing price of PPG. So you can go ahead and top up. Just make sure that you are on top of your trailing stop loss. You must have the time to do an immediate upward adjustment on your trailing stop loss every time the prevailing price registers a price higher than the prevailing price. If you don't have the time, let's say you have a daytime job that coincides with your working hours, with the with working hours that coincide with the trading hours in the Philippines, I suggest don't do active trading. We don't have a stop loss feature yet. Okay, all right. So next, after PPG, we have. So we're done with PPG. By the way, the true market sentiment of PPG is neutral. Here, it's neutral. So after PPG, we have APX. APX closed today at 1.23, support is at 1.06, resistance is at 1.27. It's at the brink of crossing above the resistance at 1.27 towards the next resistance at 1.4. Okay, that's your next resistance if and when it breaks above 1.27. The 10's MACD combo is not yet present, although I am seeing a bullish convergence between the MACD and the signal line. One more green candlestick and MACD will already cross above the signal line. RSI is still far from the classical overbought level. Mean to say, if this towering green volume will continue, that will give APX more room, more chances, more power to inch closer to 1.4. The positive DMI is already moving above the negative DMI here, but the upward momentum is not yet in a very strong category. So I think we will get there once the price breaks above 1.27 to 1.3. The risk level of APX is at a moderate risk level. Let's see if the Fantastic Four signals are present on APX's trade and volume distribution chart, and they are confirmed. They are. Your dominant range is between 1.2 to 1.25. Okay, it's in favor of the buyers. And the true market sentiment chart is this, and the true market sentiment is bearish because of these reasons, these statistics. Okay, it's still bearish. So we don't see much confidence among the majority of the top 10 brokers who traded APX on Wednesday. So maybe they are still also uh, trying to see if some traders are really interested to buy at a price higher than the resistance at 1.27. That's why they are in moderation, they are in control, or they are somewhat not going all in by a massive level on APX. Okay, next. Um, I suggest if you have the plan to top up, make sure that you do it within the dominant range only, and be very careful as a profit taking may happen near 1.3. So be on top of your trailing stop loss. For those who are planning to enter a new position, I think you are better off waiting for a breakout above 1.27 before you do a test buy. Besides, the 10 MACD combo is not yet present, just the Fantastic Four signals, right? For new entrants, it's highly recommended. It's better if the Fantastic Four signals are not the only ones present, but also the 10 smack the combo. Always remember that. Okay, there you go for APX. After APX, we got who do we got? ABG. ABG closed today at 15.14. Support is at 11.75. Resistance is at 19.2. The 10 smack the combo is already alive. And RSI is approaching the classical overbought level already. Although the risk level is still at a moderate risk. The upward momentum is not yet very strong. It's not yet very strong, but it's getting there, especially once the price inches closer, a lot closer to the resistance. Maybe once it touches 18.8 to 19 pesos per share, the upward momentum or the ADX will already be trading above the 25-point level. The ADX, I'm referring to the black line here. Okay, so let's take a look at the trade and volume distribution. And this one completes the presence of the Fantastic Four signals. Yep, they are present. The dominant range is between 14.9 to 15.2. 14.9, we can use, 14.9 to 15.2. That's in favor of the buyers than the sellers. So if you have some data-driven reasons to top up and to enter a new position as well. For the new entrants, remember the extra process that you need to go through. Okay, so there you go. For ABG's true market sentiment chart, the sentiment that we have here is bearish on the other hand. Okay, they are still bearish. Some of them are not yet confident to buy by a massive level. So anyhow, our 10 MACD and Fantastic Four signals are all present already on ABG's chart. Okay, so you can go ahead to do a test buy and or top up. So after ABG, we got PRIM. PRIM closed today at 1.74. Support is at 1.53. Resistance is at 1.79 or 1.8. PRIM has been having a hard time breaking above the resistance at 1.8. And how many attempts were those? 1, 2, 3, 8 attempts already. 8 attempts of breaking above 1.8 to no avail. So we need PRIM needs a lot taller green volume bar to break above that resistance at 1.8. And I think it's having a hard time doing that because RSI is already close to the classical overbought level. So somebody has to buy near 1.8 to to stimulate that psychological belief that somebody is willing to buy at a higher price, at a price higher than 1.8. Yeah, 1.8. So, but for now, let's take a look at the trade and volume distribution chart. It looks like that the percentage of trades and volume are, the percentages of volume and trades are evenly distributed on the fluctuation chart of PRIM today. But if we are to pick a dominant range, that would be between 1.7 to 1.8. It's still in favor of the sellers. So I see a sign of an indecision in this trade and volume distribution chart. A sign of an indecision. The majority are undecided whether they will buy or sell. The true market sentiment chart is, the true market sentiment for PRIM is bullish. Here, how ironic. So they are bullish. Did they buy the dips? Did we see some interest in buy the dips? Well, I think the ones that bought the dips were those who have had PRIM. Remember, it's a lot easier to decide to top up when you already managed to enter at a better position, at a lot lower position. It's a lot better. It's a lot easier to decide to do that. Now, if you are about to enter a new position on PRIM, I suggest that you would rather buy on breakout or buy near support, but don't buy right now. Okay, don't buy right now. So that's my recommendation for PRIM. After PRIM, we got CPG. CPG closed today at 0.63. Support is at 0.63 also. And for your psychological resistance, which is in confluence with the 61.8% of the up Fibonacci, is near 0.71. Okay, if it continues to break below 0.63, the next support would be 0.56. The 10 MACD combo is still present since the price is still moving above the 10-day simple moving average. The upward momentum is still very strong. The risk level is still low, and RSI is still a lot closer to the intraday high, no, not intraday high, but to the classical overbought level than the classical oversold level, but it's already sloping downwards. It's already downward sloping. Foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth $500,000 pesos. Just $500,000, not $500,000,000. Okay, so for CPG's true market sentiment, or no, not true market sentiment yet, but the trade and volume distribution chart, the dominant range is between 0.63 to 0.66. 0.63 to 0.66. The true market sentiment for CPG is bearish on the other hand. And these are the reasons. Okay. So, again, if you have had CPG, you can go ahead. No, don't buy the dips yet. Just because 10 MACD is present, that doesn't mean that it's already tempting to top up. I would suggest that you wait for the presence of the fantastic first signals, because if you're going to top up now, now that the fantastic first signals are absent, the price could go cheaper than 0.63. So you are better off waiting for the fantastic first signals to become present before you decide to top up. If CPG is still trading above your trailing stop loss, just hold your position. I don't see a reason for you to be alarmed, for you to preempt your trading stop loss. Not yet. Now, if you're planning to enter a new position, postpone that plan. Wait for the fantastic first signals to become present. Once they are present, recalculate your reward to risk ratio. If you are happy with that reward to risk ratio, if you're satisfied, go ahead and do a test buy. Okay? And if CPG will rebound from 0.63 and the fantastic first signals will become present, new entrants, congratulations, because that means you're going to get a better reward to risk ratio for yourself, because the candlestick will then be a lot closer to the support than your psychological resistance. The closer the last price to the support level, the better it is, the better your potential reward than your potential risk. Okay, so after CPG we got Web. Web closed today at 4.25. Support is at 3.84. Resistance is at 5 pesos per share. The 10 MACD combo is still present. Okay, 10 MACD combo is still present, but foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 4.8 million pesos. The upward momentum is still strong. Risk level is already high on Web. Take note of that. It's a high risk level stock. Now let's take a look at Web's trade and volume distribution. It's closer to the intraday low than the intraday high. It's between 4.24, 4.2 to 4.3. That's your dominant range. The true market sentiment for Web is bearish. Okay, it's bearish. So here's my recommendation. If you have had Web and your trailing stop loss is below the current price, meaning to say the current price is above your trailing stop loss, I just reversed the sentence, right? So I suggest that you hold your position. Don't top up yet. Okay, do not preempt your trailing stop loss either. If you are planning to enter a new position, postpone that plan also. Wait for the fantastic first signals to become present before you do a test buy. Okay? The 10 MACD combo is present, but your fantastic first signals are absent. So wait for them to come back. So after web, we got PHA. Okay? PHA closed today at 0.84. Support is at 0.78. Resistance is at 0.1 pesos per 1 peso per share. The 10 MACD combo is already absent. RSI is already approaching the it's already below the neutral territory, approaching the classical oversold. And well, actually, PHA has been consolidating within this support and resistance level since May already. It has been moving sideways. And there's another proof here on the DMI chart. The positive and the negative DMI do not seem to want to diverge. They don't want to keep apart from each other. So this is a sign that the stock is in a consolidation phase. Okay, it's in a consolidation phase. Disclosure: I don't like trading ranges. I like trading trends. PHA is in a range right now. Okay, so the dominant range is between 0.84 to 0.87, and the true market sentiment for PHA is bearish. My overall sentiment is also neutral. It's neutral for me for PHA. It's more likely for the sideways movement to continue unless we see a massive change on the mood of traders when it comes to the volume. For now, it's more likely to continue the sideways movement. So don't enter a new position. Okay, don't enter a new position. And if you just in case you bought PHA and you didn't know my sentiment before, I suggest that you hold your position, don't top up yet. Reserve your buying power to the other stocks that you're trading, that are in trends and not in ranges like PHA. So finally, we got Pepsi. Again, Pepsi, PIP. It closed today at 1.79. Support is at 1.55. Resistance is at 1.95. The 10 MACD combo is already absent. Foreign investors registered a net foreign selling worth 6.3 million pesos. And what else? It reversed its position. I already said this in the previous video when I talked about Pepsi also. 1.95 was translated as a profit-taking level. Okay, so this is not the perfect stock for those who would like to enter a new position. The dominant range is between 1.78 to 1.8. It's in favor of the sellers. The true market sentiment is neutral. So my overall sentiment is neutral as well on PIP. If you have had PIP and your trailing stop loss has not been hit yet, I suggest that you hold your position for now, but don't top up yet. Don't top up. Do not preempt your trailing stop loss also. Now, if you're just planning to enter a new position and you don't have it yet, postpone that plan also. At least wait for the fantastic first signals and the 10 MACD combo to become present again. Okay? And I think by this, you are better off buying on breakout or buying near support than buying in between. Okay? You buy near support at 1.55 or you buy on breakout at 1.95, provided the fantastic for our signals are present. You know that already by now. Okay? You should know that already by now. So there you go for my technical analysis and recommendations for these 10 stocks today. If you have follow-up questions, you know where to ask in our private clients forum. And for the Davao-based traders and investors, I hope to see you on July 27. If you are subscribed to this service for 1 year, you can buy your ticket for half the price, 50% discount. It's actually a prerequisite for you to attend the seminar because as you know it, yes, you are seeing me using MACD, RSI, but I use them differently. Equilist Analytics has its own universe, as I always say. So you need to attend that seminar so I can clearly give you an idea, so I can clearly plant this method to you with a clear understanding of it. So for how many hours? For 6 hours of discussion. By the end of that discussion, you will appreciate more the methodologies that we are using here after attending that seminar. So go ahead and buy your ticket for half the price. So for the 6-month subscribers, you can go ahead and upgrade your membership or subscription to 1 year so you can avail of that ticket for half the price also. If you have questions on how to do it, just send an email to contact@equilist.com or click contact here on our website and send your inquiry. There you go. My name is JC De Guzman. Have a profitable and disciplined trading day for the rest of the week. Bye for now.